Hey guys, today we're trying Pathfinder Kingmaker as requested by Patreon subscriber Stephen Eckleby. Kind of falls in that umbrella of games where like I thought I'd get to them eventually if I had infinite time, and yet more time just keeps passing, and then I think they might have yeah, 2018, it's already a 2-year-old game. Amazing how long a game that I'm meaning to get to can feel new. It's like, oh yeah, that just came out, right? It's like, no, it's been 7 years. What? There's just so many things competing for that same window. And games like this are long. Thank you for your continuing support. I haven't done jack shit. Click. We as developers always trying to improve. Yeah, sure. Oh, so it looks like there's 2 variation campaigns, but you have to buy them. This one's looking a little distressing and bloodborne-y. And that one's got a mimic apparently. Oh no, I don't think he noticed. How sad for him. The main story, explore the Stolen Lands, a wild territory that has been contested for centuries. Hundreds of kingdoms have risen and fallen in these lands, and now it is time for you to make your mark by building your own kingdom. To succeed in this, you'll need to survive the harsh wilderness and the menace of rival nations, as well as perils from within your own court. Okay? Oh. That's a lot of difficulty settings. That's a lot of difficulty settings. The story is like super easy mode. Critical hits are literally turned off. That's a lot of really specific settings. Dead companions rise after combat. You get to a hard enough difficulty and the dead companions stay dead for it. Normal difficulty has dead companions staying dead. Whoa. Whereas easy... Even in easy, they don't come back after combat. It's only in story mode. Interesting. And challenging. Hard. Playing on hard or unfair mode requires substantial skills at CRPGs, a vast knowledge of Pathfinder system, and sometimes a sheer amount of luck with the dice rolls. Choose them at your own peril. Hard and unfair. Damage to party ×2 is what happens when you switch to unfair mode. Even when we go all the way to hard, there's still only 1.0 times damage. That was 0.8 times damage on normal. Weird, you would think normal would be the standard for what determines the number 1.0. Somewhat easier enemies, auto level up is off. Death's Door. With this option enabled, your character and companions will not die after suffering a deadly injury, and will instead receive a Death's Door condition. If they suffer a deadly injury while under the effects of that condition, they will die. If your main character dies, the game is over. Certain conditions and effects can kill a character without triggering Death's Door. Okay, that's why even normal mode and easy mode have dead companions stay dead, because they have another characteristic that makes the death less likely. There's a lot to take in here. I'm just gonna go to normal and just throw caution to the wind. We can select a character or create a character. Got Headwergs, the Protector Fighter. Melaku, Melee Paladin, Vylene, Archer Ranger, Gimar, Area Damage Sorcerer, and Yadmila, a Healing Cleric. That's 2 humans, an elf, another human, and a halfling, a gnome, a halfling cleric. I mean, spellcasters can be a lot of fun oftentimes. Just going into this, I'm gonna pre-warn, I don't know that much about Pathfinder. I've played D&D 3.5 and 5, and I've played a little bit of Starfinder, a little bit, but if you quizzed me right now, I would not have a lot to say. 3 human characters is the default, though. I want to look at the character creator. Partly because I'm just curious what races are even options. Got portraits for days here. So there are orcs. At least one more variation. Yeah. Let's see. I just want to see what the race choices are here. Or what was that, the race? Race half-orc. There's a lot to take in. Got gender switch. I guess I'm on class. Oh, here we pick race. Okay. They give you everything at once. Alright, you can be human, elf, dwarf, gnome, halfling, half-elf, half-orc, and ASMR. Are these like Godborn or something? ASMRs are humans with significant amount of celestial or other good outsider blood in their ancestry. They're more inclined towards kindness than evil. They got the glowing eyes and everything. Alright. Then you have a class. Alchemist. Inquisitor. There's a few surprising ones here. Where it's like, I don't know what that one is. Magus. The heritage characteristic. I gotta pick one. You can tell I'm not really committing to this because this is the kind you could spend well over an hour on just this process. So I'm just previewing the complexity but not actually engaging with it because it'll be too much. Oh boy. What am I looking at? Is this must be a skill tree, right? Yeah. It looks like almost like a music chart sort of thing. So it like reminded me of the chanters from Pillars of Eternity. I was like, is this like a sequence? Is this like the timing of his attacks or something? At first glance, I had to figure out that this is low. Oh, here we are. Here's the axis. So that's level 1, and then as you go through, you get all of these upgrades. So you get another feat every other level. You get these things at these levels. Okay, that's what this is. This is the level up chart from 1 through 20. Then you pick a heritage. What kind of things do these do? A muse touch epitomizes freedom and joy. +2 racial bonus to dexterity and charisma. +2 racial to persuasion and mobility. So that kind of stuff. Then skills. So you have your stats, and then you have your specialities for RPG purposes. Stealth, lockpicking, lore, religion, perception. Click, click, click. Click, 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 click. I can't go to the next page till I click on this. Oh, they gave me a couple more things. There you go. Because I probably gave myself like an intelligence or something that gave me more abilities. So now you pick your feats. Bonuses to saving throws. Bonuses to checks. Ooh, thumbs down. Non-recommended feature. So it's sorted by what's recommended and not recommended for my particular class and abilities and so on. That makes sense. Stealthy. Blind fight. Then character.
This will hurt! I'll carve my name onto your flesh.
Adventures await. This will hurt. We cannot be defeated.
Alright, you pick an alignment. Lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good, evil, and so on. I've never seen it quite laid out that way. That's interesting. Laid out like a ring. Alright, well that's more or less the entirety of everything. Anyway, I'm not gonna run with that character obviously because I just spammed random crap to just look at each page. But I am a little disappointed there's no auto-generated ace, was it called ace here? Or orc. There is a halfling, but no gnome, but at least there's a halfling. But I would definitely hope for like a few other options just to hop into. Let's try a paladin. Melaku, the Deliverer, is a human paladin of Iomedae, the goddess of justice. His two-handed sword is a formidable weapon on its own, but with Iomedae's blessing, it becomes a devastating tool of retribution used to bring the forces of evil to justice. Having witnessed too much of the world's malice, Melaku swore to never lay down arms so long as there are innocents to save and wicked to smite. I figured I'd try a paladin. They often have some kind of spell casting. I didn't want to commit to full spell casting because I don't know how hard this might be or how independent my character might need to be going into this blind. But this guy definitely looks like the guy from American Horror Story / the guy that played Quicksilver in the X-Men movies. It's really distracting. Oh, we still pick a voice.
I have no use for this. So many thoughts, so little time.
Together we stand.
We cannot be defeated.
Let us bide our time.
None shall escape!
I didn't even break a sweat.
Strike as one.
This is my path. Let us be off.
Generic brave is probably on brand for his character. Pick a birthday. Alright. I'll just pick mine, I guess. Why not? And make him lawful good. There we go.
We cannot be defeated.
That's about right.
You're done for.
Stand back, everyone. Nothing here to see. Just a bit of danger in the middle of it, me. Yes, Captain Hammer's here, hair flowing through the breeze. The day needs my saving expertise. I paused because I was like, is it going to start narrating on this screen? I think it's just loading. Metamagic is a useful tool that can make your favorite spells more powerful.
Our story started at the mansion of an Aldori sword lord. Drawn by the promise of a most dangerous task and a commensurately huge reward, heroes of all stripes gathered here.
Where are they? This is taking forever. They didn't even say what this was for, just that the Aldori were looking for heroes. Who are the Aldori anyway? Rich folk?
If you can't be patient, no one's keeping you here. Just go back to your mountains or whatever hole you crawled out of. The Aldori sword lords run the premier school for the dueling arts. They're also the richest and most influential group in this part of Brevoy. Take that tone with them, and they'll teach you some manners pretty quickly.
All right, you purple toad, just shut your trap. And if you can't, I'll help you.
Hush! Quiet! They're coming!
Greetings, everyone. I am Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori, and this is Lord Mayor Yosef Salimius of Restov. Welcome to my mansion.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for responding to our call. You may be few, but that's unavoidable. We need only the best of the best for this task. And I see true heroes before me, strong and fearless, exactly what Restov needs.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. Now, to the point. South of here, just beyond Brevoy's border, lies a region known as the Stolen Lands. This is disputed territory, and while it's long been claimed by nearby states, it's never been truly taken. I won't bore you with the legal technicalities. Suffice to say that anyone with enough courage and power to seize the Stolen Lands and name themselves Baron or Baroness, claiming dominion, well, none of the neighboring states would be able to challenge it. Of course, Restov would be first to recognize the legitimacy of this new state, as well as the noble title of its founder. Unfortunately, one serious obstacle stands between you and this title. A gang of bandits holds sway in the Stolen Lands. Their chief, who they call the Stag Lord, considers himself the rightful owner of these lands, and no one has yet been able to challenge his power. Bring me his head, and you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands as their legal ruler. Any questions?
Seems questionable. Hey, there's this place. If you just go over and take it over and you just lay claim to it, no one can challenge you. But, you know, someone else is already there, and they've already laid claim to it, so you should go challenge them. That thing I said wouldn't happen if you laid claim to it. No one could challenge you. Yeah, there's already a guy there. Go challenge him. Wait. This sounds like a contradiction a little bit. But it's bad because they're bandits. See, we gotta spread democracy. We've declared that this particular kingdom is illegitimate and unreasonable, and therefore we're not actually taking it away from an existing group or government. Just get rid of them, and then you can have yours, and yours will be legitimate. This this is all right. There's a whole team of us. Who exactly will receive the Baron's title?
I will, of course. I'm the leader of this team, after all. Don't worry, though. I'll make it worth your while to help me.
We haven't yet begun, and you already speak of divvying rewards. What makes you think we'll even succeed? There's little point arguing over who gains the title when we'll most likely lose our lives there.
What? There's no point arguing over who gets the title? Isn't that the goal of the mission? Why would you set out on a mission without caring about the goal?
If I may please answer the question.
She takes a long pause, waiting for the voices to die down as everyone directs their attention towards her.
We believe you're all equally deserving of a noble title. Over the course of your expedition, it will be up to you as a team to decide which of you is best suited to rule.
That's convenient. You don't have to make any choices in that situation. Let's see. Can I help you guys out here a little bit with the font size? There we go. That's as big as it gets. Not that much bigger. And also, yes, accept. Turn the music down a little bit. Just so we can keep up with the volume of the voices and have them stand out a little bit. There we go. Why not just recognize the Stag Lord as Baron?
That's a good point. As I see it, this Stag Lord already holds power over the region with confidence. Many noble bloodlines were started by bandits who just got lucky, weren't they?
Perhaps because we do have standards to maintain. This room has seen many celebrations of adventurers, and even those who just got lucky. But giving a noble title to a bandit lord? That's one thing that's never happened here, and it won't while I still breathe.
From what I've seen of RPGs in general, I feel like the boundary between bandit and adventurer is a really shaky definition to act like, oh, we have standards to maintain, so the bandit isn't a real leader. But you adventurers will be. You all just a random marauding band of warriors just gonna hop in there and just fucking sack the place. And then, I don't know, decide amongst yourself who gets to be the leader afterwards. That sounds way more legitimate than the bandit lord that's already clearly got their own hierarchy set up. You're helping us found a barony. What do you gain from such generosity?
Don't ask stupid questions. Why should you even care? What they have to gain and why, that's for Lady Aldori and I to discuss. It's none of your concern. Your only concern is to swing your sword around or whatever it is you do.
Oh, I'm killing you first, Articuno.
Of course, we stand to benefit from this enterprise. But if you're concerned that we intend to rule your country from afar, using you as a front, well, please know that these concerns are unfounded. Let's just say that we have a strong interest in the region's stability. We have need of a ruling power we can negotiate with, not bandit gangs and monster hordes.
We would never do this thing, which is why it was exactly what was on my mind, and I immediately said that exact concern, like it must be the one that you mean exactly. Almost like that's my intention.
What is that smell in the air? Is it the smell of unspoken words and political intrigue?
Noticing you've heard her comment, she winks at you coyly. You can be a... There's tieflings in this game? I didn't see tieflings on the list. Did I miss that? I don't think I did. So there just are tieflings wandering around, but you can't play as them. Maybe they're DLC. I don't know. What rewards can we expect exactly?
And what reward would you seek beyond a noble title and your own lands?
A noble... Only one person gets the noble title. Or at least... Yeah. Yeah.
We'll absorb the costs of preparing and equipping your expeditions. Once you return victorious, Restov will also allocate you a significant sum to provide financial support for you to establish your country. Essentially, we'll help you build your capital. I hope such a reward is satisfactory.
Words, words, words. Significant, financial. I can't fill my belly with pretty words.
Of course, there will also be an official banquet held in your honor. All of Rostov's high society will gather to celebrate your feat.
Now you're talking.
It's clear as day.
Excellent. You venture forth tomorrow. For now, you can take some time to get to know one another better. Or you can head straight to your guest rooms to get some rest. You'll find we've already prepared supplies for you there. And thank you again for agreeing to take part in this expedition. I wish you luck.
Thank you again, with all my heart, for replying to this call. The flare in your eyes reveals your courage, the unshakable will that distinguishes true heroes. I look at you, O champions of Restov, and doubt not for a second that you'll be victorious. So venture forth toward your feet. Go, and return in triumph.
The entire premise is highly questionable.
My name's Lindsay. I'm a bard, though this is my first real adventure. So, shall we go teach this stag lord a lesson?
It's all very questionable, but we're just gonna have to stomach that for now. Or get hit by a twist of like, ah, haha, I was all nefarious all along. I'm like, yeah, I know. This is all super questionable. Tieflings wandering her off. There's an orc. That's an elf. We see, yeah, these two characters from the cutscene at the very least. I don't know where the dwarf went. Huh. I'm Captain Hammer. Pleased to meet you.
Likewise. Actually, I also wanted to ask you something. How do you feel about this Tartuccio fellow? I think he's pretty obnoxious personally. He appointed himself head of the team, and he's just after the Baron's crown, or whatever it is barons wear. It doesn't matter. I don't like him. I think you should be team leader. When I first saw you, I couldn't help but think, now here's a real hero. Someone who'll be praised in poems and songs. This is the person I'll write my book about.
We've never even spoken to each other before, and you already want me to be leader. It's not the strongest informed choice. Wait, a book?
Damn, I should have led with that. Please, just let me explain. You know what the trouble with most heroes' biographies is? They're always written years later, based on the tales of, best case, people who saw things from the outside. Worst case, someone heard about it from their brother, who heard it from their friend, who heard it from their cousin, and so on, adding a new batch of lies each time. Every time I read about a heroic journey, I think to myself, why didn't they just bring a bard with them to write it all down properly? And then I thought, I could be that bard. I just needed to find a suitable hero and volunteer to follow along on their glorious adventure. A great plan, huh? And here we are, with a heroic journey lying before us. Who's going to be the hero? Some dwarf who keeps muttering about how we'll all die? Or maybe that horrific scythe lady? Or, God's forbid, Tartuccio? No way.
If your goal is to be an unbiased observer, you're already complicating things by becoming part of the story that influences the choices, like picking the leader yourself for your own story. Huh. Not a bad plan. It's settled then. I'll accomplish the feats and you'll write them down.
Deal. All right. I'm going to my room to write about tonight. See you in the morning.
My quill takes its first sip of the ink pot and scratch. It's gone. Whatever. Tartuccio. I thought his name was Artuccio because the first letters of these names are so stylized they almost function as not looking like a letter. It's only when you see the beginning of the name and you're like adventurer, you're like, wait, something's wrong. And then you rewind and see the A and you're like, ah, adventurer. But this guy's name could be Artuccio. Her name could be Miri. His name could be Athol. And that's, yeah, it's just when you hit like recognizable name words, you're like, wait a minute. In fact, Miri is a name. And I think Artuccio might be a name technically. I don't know. What kind of place to move to? I think I'll figure that part out. He's entered Paladin mode immediately. Tomorrow our glorious journey begins. Are you ready? I hope so. Okay, that goes away too quickly. Oh. I don't need layabouts on my team. Voop. There you go. Just voop. There you go. Now we'll never have to have trouble keeping track of the text again. What game is Jamandi playing? I'm not used to feeling like a pawn. Ah, the orc's not a character. Get some rest before the road. You have a difficult journey before you. Nope. Oh, those 2 tiers. Okay, so that's a sidebar for MMORPG style hotkeys. Oh my god, this guy's voice actor's hilarious. Arum. This expedition is surely doomed. A depressing guy. Alright, so what do I got? Charge. What's that ticking? A bunch of things popping up. Target one enemy creature within 0 feet. Within 0 feet? Huh. I think you expect charge to have some distance to it. Oh, you must move before you attack, not after. Okay. Can I like scroll down to read the rest of it? Oh. I guess the font size creates a problem when these descriptions are so long. Charging is a special action that allows you to move up to double your normal speed and attack during the same action. So you just go take off at somebody. Coup De Gras. A full round action, you use a melee weapon to deliver a coup de grace to a helpless opponent. So they probably have to be prone or something. And it provokes enemies' attack of opportunities, so that's a problem. Demoralize Persuasion. You can use a persuasion or intimidation skill to cause an opponent to become shaken for a number of rounds. Smite Evil. Paladin can call out to the powers of good to aid in their struggle against evil. Paladin chooses one target within sight to smite. If they're evil, the Paladin adds their charisma bonus to attack rolls. Fighting defensively. -4 penalty on attack rolls and combat maneuver checks, and +2 to dodge and your armor class. Oh, +2 to dodge bonus to your armor class, right? Because there's ways that you because armor class is just a catch-all number for not taking damage when you get hit. It's like a combination of armor points and dodge points and so on that all mean different things. Gain +3 if you have mobility. Acrobatics, mobility. You can move through a threatened square without provoking attack of opportunity from an enemy by using acrobatics. When moving in this way, you move at half speed. So you can dodge around without actually getting attack of opportunity. Power attack. It's got a border around it, so I think it's currently toggled on or something. It's getting swirly. You can choose to take a -1 penalty on all melee attack rolls and combat maneuver checks to gain a +2 bonus on all melee damage rolls. It's a little bit of a trade-off. You're less likely to hit, but you do more damage when you do hit. A little bit of a trade-off. Stronger when you have a two-handed weapon. Alright, let's calm down with this thing a little bit. There we go. Oh shit, that was a character. I could talk to them. What's going on?
The mansion's under attack. We need to help. Some villains broke in and started killing everyone. I barely made it. Hurry, we have to help the guards fight off the attackers or we'll all be cut down one by one.
I just want to be clear, I 100% knew we were going to be attacked and like immediately. Like I knew there was going to immediately be a combat section and it was going to help clarify why our party is dwindled down to a particular group of that is an RPG party out of this group of like 30 that was there. That's probably not good. I'm just too immersed in the tropes or something. I was immediately like, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed and immediately get attacked. That's the only way this could possibly go. You're not going anywhere. Alright, let's find out how combat works. What, no pop-ups now saying what to do? Is combat turn-based? How does this work? Nope, it's just pause-based. Alright. I mean, I probably just beat him, honestly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't need to make any choices there. Trophies. You can interact with various objects, such as the bodies of the dead opponents, by clicking on them. Interactive objects are highlighted when you hover over your mouse over them, or when you hold tab. Get a chain shirt and a dagger. How's my character doing? Let's see. A lot of character to unpack here. Inventory. Scale mail. 5 armor class. -4 to armor check penalty. 3 maximum dexterity bonus. 4 max dexterity bonus. -2. Yeah, everything's off by 1. So slightly reduced penalty, but also slightly reduced armor. Might say is the point. Random bandits are probably unlikely to give me anything that would make me want to replace my gear right now. Lindsay's journal. Oh, yep. So she's canonically my quest log, essentially, that details all of the descriptions of what's happening here and so on. I didn't manage to get any sleep, but I didn't manage to get any sleep, but it wasn't due to my excitement. In the middle of night, the mansion was attacked by some cutthroats who came out of nowhere. Blood and screams everywhere. It was terrible. I had no idea what was going on, but Captain Hammer was in the room next door, so I decided we had to team up, or they'd cut us down one by one. Team up is an interesting definition. She ran to my room and then ran away, and then somebody attacked me. And she didn't even stay in the room to like hide or help me with the fight or anything. Ooh. Look at all these menus. Alright, anyway.
No stopping now.
Like halfway between Captain Hammer and Sean Connery. They got someone, we have to help. Oh, it's Articuno. Kill him. Look, they're running, get them. What should I do with this one? We'll finish him later. He won't get away. Well, alright, I'm just gonna let these fights play out at this rate. I seem to one-shot everyone.
A bit longer and I'd have been... I don't even want to think about it. Can you imagine what a terrible loss this would have been? But it's all right now. I'm safe, sound and unscathed, ready to lead you to victory. Lady Jamandi's holding the line in the banquet hall. You know, the one where she had us gathered before. We need to make our way to her. And along the way, we'll try to save some of these dummies who are supposed to accompany us to the stolen lands. Speaking of dummies, take this ring. Quiet now, so that little fool doesn't hear us. She might try to steal it herself. It's magical. It'll protect you. You'll need it while you work to defend me.
He's very self-important. Lo and behold, every character that survived is going to be the one... Every character that's been named is likely to be the ones that survive and join our party. +1 AC. This deflection bonus does not stack with other deflection bonuses. Alright. So now we've got the startings of a party. What are you? So I'm a paladin. Oh, here we go. Bard. Sorcerer. Alright. So we have a really straightforward, we have a spellcaster, we have a tank, we have a technically another variation of spellcaster, at least depending on what kind of game it is. He has Burning Hands and Magic Missile. You can turn the AI on and off, apparently. Oh, here we go. Formations. That's what I was looking for. Let's make a custom formation. Trying to put the squishier characters in some sort of back line so they aren't just running straight at me. It does not lock to a grid. Just slightly off-putting. There we go. That'll accomplish putting me in front. Oh! Hello. Apparently you can't use that door. Already not being very lawful good with my stealing.
Leave this one to me.
Hey, buddy. Wow, I am a menace. Oh my god. Oop, attack of opportunity. He made some sort of other action that made me just instantly take him out. Y'all have made mistakes, apparently. You guys didn't plan for a guy with a big sword being here. The scariest thing that could have happened. Just a real big sword. These are interactive. Oh, the orc is dead. Oh no, is everyone dead? Pathetic. They couldn't even defend themselves, but they thought they could conquer the stolen lands? Oh, there goes the orc. Is the tiefling dead? This guy's dead. I can't believe it. That could have been us. Well, their adventures have certainly come to an end. This guy's a little shit, isn't he? Did I get cool armor just now? Is there a sorting button? Please? Sure. Type is a category. Hide armor, 4 armor. Copper ring, not really useful. Nope, these weapons are generally steps down.
March on.
Meow. Just a cat surrounded by death. Just having a chill one, not giving a shit.
It's the end for you rats!
That's probably a Miri.
We will be victorious.
Die already!
Look at how slowly I'm walking over. So chill. Amiri, we can take them out.
Oh, it's you. Stay up from under my feet or I'll strike you down.
The barbarian's face is distorted with rage. She grinds her teeth and sweat drips from her forehead. Noticing Tartuccio, she swings her sword but stops just in time. Well, now we've got 2 giant swords that are like Cloud Strife levels oversized. They're really fucked.
Blood for Gorum!
Swinging her bloody sword, she runs towards the sound of battle.
Barbarians.
I think that's exactly how heroes should be.
What? Stupid, sweaty, and always looking for something to gobble up or lop the head off of? Calistria, save me from such heroes.
Yeah. You know, in mediation. There they are, the assassins. This is your last chance. Drop your weapons and we'll spare your lives. So generous. I'm afraid I can't offer you the same courtesy. Hey, you ugly mug, go get him. Oh, that's big. Oh. When you see a giant dude, you kind of expect him to use his giantness, and then he's just like, these people will die. They all explode. Like, oh. Okay. Talented. In many ways. Where did she go? Apparently avoided that. Is F... Yep, F5 is quick save. Figure that's a good thing to do before I pursue this mess. The passage is blocked. You can't make it through this way. Skill check. Sometimes interacting with an object requires a skill check. A successful check may be... It's just a standard skill check, right? Some, like trap disarmament, can be attempted multiple times, while some can only be retried after you raise your rank. Yeah. Relatively standard. Dexterity and... Oop. The heavy grate securely locked. Alright, dexterity. I guess we did it. Oh. Hi. Oop.
We can do it.
Nope, I'm missing now, which is a really sad time for me. Oop, attack of opportunity. But he actually managed to hit me. The armory. I'm sure Jamandi wouldn't mind if we borrowed some weapons.
What have we here? This chest is full of gold. I guess it's for the guards' salaries, all things considered. Well, those freeloaders don't seem to have been working too hard for it. Maybe we should pocket it instead.
What? No, we're heroes, not thieves.
Who said we were stealing it? We'll just take the gold for safety so the assassins don't get it. And then we can heroically return it to Jamandi when this is all over.
No distractions. If you haven't forgotten, they're trying to kill us.
Finally, a voice of reason.
Do what you want. I don't care. It was just a suggestion. But there's a lot of money in that chest, and with all these bandits running around, it wouldn't be any better if they stole it.
Right, I'm supposed to be pretending I'm all like lawful good and shit like that. Oh, that's a lot of armor class. Can't mix a tower. I can't mix a tower shield with a two-handed weapon. Well, this should make me properly hard to kill. Is there a better two-handed weapon? No. I keep trying to use my mouse to scroll the screen. Each character can carry a limited amount of weight, based on their strength score and so on. Medium to heavy loads burden the character, limiting their abilities in battle. How is my load? Pretty alright, so those must be the milestones. Where bad happens.
Oh, familiar faces. I hope you're not so frightened as to swing at every shadow. It's me, Jathal. I don't recommend advancing down the hallway, assuming you value your life, of course. There were a few people with me, and you can see what happened to them.
And just how did they all end up dead while you don't seem to have a scratch?
Cartuccio eyes Jathal suspiciously.
I'll answer but briefly and just once. Further scares and explanations will wait until we aren't being hunted by a group of assassins. Deal? All right. I'm undead. These traps are deadly to the living, but they're harmless to me.
What do you mean undead? Really? Like zombies or skeletons or...
As I said, further explanations will wait until later. All you need to know right now is that we're on the same side, and we have to fight off a small army of hired assassins. Let's get to it.
Have to is a strong word. We'd always just go do something else for funsies. Yep. Go through the trap-filled hallway. What could go wrong? All right. Nothing else down there.
Speak.
What are you? An Inquisitor. Whatever that is. Inquisitors tend to move from place to place, chasing down enemies and researching enemy threats. As a result, they often travel with others, if for no other reason than to mask their presence. Inquisitors work with members of their faith whenever possible, but even such allies are not above suspicion. Neutral evil. Just gonna come out and say it, huh? So we have lawful good, chaotic evil, neutral evil. Alright, we have a half evil party. Artuccio is straight up chaotic evil, not even like... I thought maybe lawful evil, like he's just an asshole. But full-on chaotic evil. Alright. Sorcerer with no equal. Tartuccio is a powerful sorcerer who can burn an enemy to a crisp with the flick of his finger. Unfortunately, his power is matched only by his arrogance. I wonder, why is power always given to such self-satisfied people? Lindsay. I'm Lindsay, the author of the book you, my dear reader, hold in your hands. I once studied at the Academy of the Arts in Pitax, but I decided that a real bard doesn't belong within the suffocating walls of some school. I instead set off to find a hero, one worthy of being praised throughout the ages, and that's how I came to chronicle Captain Hammer's journey out to the Stolen Lands, and all that happened afterwards. Iathol? It's Jaethal, right. Sorry, I was looking at her top name in the top corner instead of the one that's just normal text in the middle of the screen. It's like a distressingly ornamental way of trying to draw a J that's incredibly distracting and confusing. Jaethal is an elf from Kionin, one who is not quite alive. The elves exiled her from their kingdom for her terrible deeds. Her search for a new home and a new patron has brought her to our leader's banner. She pays little heed to her companions, and when she does, she behaves as if she's ready to bite their heads off. She gives me the creeps. Let's hope our enemies are just as frightened. Yep. Potentially evil characters, hooray.
Ask.
Holy crap.
I'll make my own legend.
My abilities, her abilities, his abilities, her abilities, all the way on to having a sidebar full of things. I don't necessarily have the time to read all these right now. SAB. Ability, spellbook, belt. Holy crap.
I stand ready.
Calm down, characters. Alright, I'm gonna single character control, enter stealth mode, and see if I can track down the traps and disable them so my party can go through. Apparently harmless to her after all.
How curious.
Jaethal can't pick locks.
I deserve better.
Okay. Abilities. Class. Martial abilities. Feats, traits. Biography. Real piece of shit. Trickery. Okay, so Lindsay's my trickery expert. I think she might be the one that can unlock. See.
I failed.
Oh.
Sorry.
Do better, please.
Applause, please.
There we go.
Adventures call to them. Applause, please.
Request. What a surprise.
What troubles you? Anything else?
Ask.
Is that all of them?
I will grant your request.
Scrolls are single use like usual.
Shadows engulf me.
All right.
State your desire.
Hopefully we're good to go. Ah, god damn it. I'm trying to walk, but I keep reselecting. All right, traps are disabled. Hopefully that's all of them. What are you dallying for? I'm telling you, Shamandi's cache has to be here somewhere. Well, hurry it up before... Stop! Someone's coming! I've got bad news for you. Oh god, my health. Somebody mentioned a cache. Well, that was easy. Just casually opened it. Got a couple of swords.
This is my path. It is done.
There appears to be some silly nonsense going on here. One of them always has their sword up and the other one always has their sword down, and you can switch, you can toggle between the two. There might be a puzzle to be had there. I don't think there's any clues around here. Oh. Well, that made his hand go up. Up, 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 up.
Anything is possible.
We should move.
Da 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 da. All right, that was easy. There's a lot going on in here. The silver chain. All right.
I tire of waiting.
Be gone, Paladin.
I don't tolerate fools.
That scumlord can steal everything. All nonchalant-like. A map. Old map of Avestan. Useful household item. Merchant paid well for it. 2 whole coins, even. Nope. See if we can find out what's going on here. The time of day is always ticking, huh? Not that quickly, though. Still 12:18.
You deserved it.
I won't give up.
Okay. Protagonist is getting in trouble.
Everything is so much fun with a little fire. What a night, huh? I thought I was all alone. It's good you're here. A bit boring, chasing fool assassins without anyone watching the show.
It's not fun at all. Many people have died for nothing.
Shh.
You sound like a Kelishite, am I right?
Of course. I'm from Kadira. But tales of hot deserts and shady oases can wait until the fighting's finished. But if you'd like to share a dinner and pleasant conversation, just say the word. I like making new friends.
But don't care about mass death. Psh. I don't think we've met.
I am Kayesi, one of the many here who seek a better fate, answering the call of Lady Jamandi. But unlike the others, I never dropped my guard, day or night. It's why I'm still alive.
There are assassins on the prowl. We have to go.
I don't know where you're heading, but I'll be at the entrance to the main hall. I think I saw some guards there. Join me there, if you wish.
The tiefling salutes you and runs ahead nimbly. Oh, not joining the party. Do I have any healing items? Yeah, I'm sure it help the wounded dwarf. Okay. Potion of Cure Light Wounds. What do I have for spells? Cure Light Wounds. Hi.
Just letting the ink dry.
Leave me a hand here. When laying your hand upon a living creature, you channel positive energy that cures 1d8 points of damage plus 1 point per casting level, maximum of +5. Since undead are powered by negative energy, the spell deals damage to them instead of curing their wounds. So don't heal her. She's undead. That'd be bad. Yeah, I only have 16 health, so this is all on brand. Help. Oh yeah, it's a touch spell, isn't it? And now she's all out of spellcasting. That was her spells per day. Done.
Grotus, I can sense your silhouette hovering over me. It won't be much longer. Soon we shall meet, O Lord of Oblivion.
A dwarf is lying on the ground, staring into the dark sky. He doesn't seem to have any severe wounds, but his trembling whisper is weak, as though he were at death's door. Dialogue skill checks. Sometimes skills are checked over the course of the dialogue, for example, when trying to convince somebody of something. The checker's result will determine the way the dialogue develops. The character in the party with the highest bonus, the desired skill, is usually the one to determine the check. Aren't you being a bit premature? Look at yourself, you've barely got a scratch.
That's impossible. Oh, it seems you might be right. It seems I will live. I suppose I must postpone meeting my god, not for long, I'm sure. But while we remain in this transient world, Arim is at your service.
Arim's a bit apocalyptic-y, isn't he? Constantly. Spell conversion. Clerics and druids can convert their spells spontaneously. A cleric of good alignment doesn't need to prepare healing spells. They can spend almost any prepared spell to cast a cure spell of the same level. In the same way, a cleric of evil alignment doesn't need to prepare inflicting spells. During character creation, clerics of neutral alignment can choose whether their converted spells cure or inflict. A druid can convert almost any prepared spell into summon nature's ally at the same level. So some people can still use abilities even if they're out of spells. Slots for the spells per day and all that. I imagine Arim is a tank. A cleric. Abandoned servant of the dark god. Chaotic neutral. Abandon hope and embrace the inevitable end. That's the kind of speech that Aram's companions must endure. Every single day. A priest of Grotus, Aram left his dwarven home to spread the word of the god of end times throughout the Stolen Lands. Though if you ask me, Aram's just a whiner. A one of a kind. The dwarf cleric who is apocalyptic at all times, evidently. How's his armor? Pretty alright. It's better than my starting armor was, and he's even got a shield, so I think he can stand in front. But constantly having somebody that's just like, the moment anything slightly is inflicted upon him, and they're like, oh, woe is me, I guess this is the end, ah. It's not the best tank to have, for a few reasons. Including the false alarms. Keston Garras.
You, run and get an axe. You, bring more water. You, stay here and hold our defense. Those assassins are still around here somewhere. Aha! Some of our guests survived. Good. You need to get to the banquet hall and help Lady Jamandi.
Who are you?
Keston, House Garras, a fighter in the service of Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori. Right now, I'm in charge of the mansion guards. As you can see, there's a lot to do.
If I were a rich and influential lady like Jamandi, I'd also get myself a manly captain of the guard. Or two.
What's going on here?
Someone opened the gate, let in a group of assassins in the middle of the night. Now they've set the mansion on fire to cut off access to the hall. They don't want Lady Jamandi to get reinforcements. We cleared the passage so you can get through. Just try to avoid inhaling the smoke. We'll be right behind you. We just need to put out the fire first to save the mansion.
Considering Lady Jamandi's fame, I'm not surprised that a whole pack of assassins were unleashed on her, including a giant. But what's at stake? What could anyone hope to gain?
Do you need any help putting out the fire?
No, we'll manage. I've got my best people here, those who still live. Your place is by Lady Aldori's side.
It doesn't seem right. What if some of the guards are wounded? We need to help them.
Where's the hall?
You'll have to run through the fire. We've almost put it out at the entrance, so your main concern should be to not inhale any smoke. Hold your breath and take the first right, then head straight down the hallway.
I'll go immediately.
Fire doesn't frighten me, thanks to hell's blood running in my veins. I'll go ahead and wait for you on the other side. Catch up!
The tiefling girl starts off and dashes through the fire.
May Abadar keep you safe.
I'm noticing something. There's 6 character slots, and 2 characters have run off on their own, the tiefling and the barbarian. I'm wondering if somebody doesn't survive this intro in order to make room for that, for the remainder within the cast. Okay. This won't be great. Illustrated book episodes. I've seen these in other games. Some game events play out as illustrated book episodes. Make choices, skill checks. Yeah. And so our adventure started. Earlier, and much more tragic than we'd expected, the whole team who'd gathered through in the hall yesterday had been reduced to but a handful of brave souls led by Captain Hammer, and not at all by that scoundrel Tartuccio, no matter what he might have imagined of himself. Jamandi Aldori was waiting for us, but to get to her we'd have to march through fire. Literally. As we approached the burning building, we drenched ourselves in buckets of water. Prudence is the key to victory. Before moving through the fire, we thoroughly wet our clothes and hair. After that, we covered our noses and mouths before we rushed inside. It's a good thing we hadn't wasted any time. After entering the building and taking a few steps forward, the wall behind us slanted and crashed down with a terrible crackling sound, blocking the way back. While we may not have planned on going back, if we'd come in a little later, the flaming logs and red-hot bricks would have fallen right on our heads. Regardless, we were left with only one way to go. So it looks like looking for a safe passage if it didn't succeed, and also putting water on you would have been a double delay that could have caused this to be bad. The hot air burned our lungs and our eyes watered from the smoke, but Captain Hammer led us stubbornly through the flames, while Tartuccio did nothing useful at all. We'd made it to the hallway leading to the banquet hall when we heard someone calling for us. It was Valerie, one of the guards I had chatted with a bit in the banquet hall. Even then, in the calm setting, I'd been stunned by her beauty. But now, amid the smoke and flame, she looked like a celestial avenger. An armored deity, menacing but beautiful and merciful, descending from the higher spheres to help us poor mortals. She held a burned, barely living guard in her arms. "There are 2 more!" she shouted as she passed us. "They are wounded. Help me pull them out." Tartuccio grumbled something about how Jamandi was waiting for us. Meanwhile, Captain Hammer's lawful good and a paladin, and similar to this character, needs to, rushed to save the guards from the fire. Saving the poor fellows didn't take long. Together we lifted them up and carried them away from the fire. Only then did Valerie pause to catch her breath and wipe the sweat from her face. "Thank you. That was truly noble of you," she said. "And now, let us rush to Lady Alori's aid." Ensuring the guards we'd rescued were relatively safe, we made our way into the hall, where the battle was already in full swing. 9 experience. How much is 9 experience anyway? Is that my experience? 2,000 to level up, so 9 is not exactly a huge influence. Valerie's also a character, so we have 6 party members already, with 2 people we've met that are voiced not being in that group. Valerie is a tower shield specialist, apparently. I guess she's a fighter? I was gonna say everybody else has a much more straightforward class, and then tower shield specialist. She sounds a little bit of like a temporary character. Valiant defender. A reliable comrade in battle, proud Valerie rejected her destiny as a paladin of Shellen, instead leaving the order behind to find her own way in life. Her loyalty to our cause is only matched by her divine beauty. True, she can be a touch arrogant in times, but I always feel safe when she's around, like she's a rock I can cling to. And then she'll be dead at any minute now. Alright. These 2 are the tankiest, so let's put them in front. Yeah, that's a formation. One of your characters is fatigued. This is just one of the negative conditions that can affect you during the game. Another portrait. That's power attack. This is fatigue. -2 penalty to strength and dexterity. Doing anything that would normally cause fatigue causes fatigued characters to become exhausted. So try not to do that. Here's the people we saved. This area is very on fire. Trophies left at Jamandi Alori's mansion. You can just auto pick them all up. Okay. They're in the shared stash though. Party encumbrance. We get fatigued every 13.3 hours apparently, and travel at 83% speed. So even the shared stash has an encumbrance. Gotcha. Keep that in mind. Let's try to finish this little intro before I wrap up the episode. That person's got a tail. Reinforcements are already on their way. Say your prayers, scum. Are you guys alright? Oh. Jamandi Aldori and Ezvanki Keeg are fighting the Frost Giant. They might not last, so we need their help, but there's a lot of dudes here, so that's not great for us. Kaisi? Hi? The help has arrived. Quick, we need to save Lady Jumanji. Is she gonna assist when I attack, I hope?
Leave this one to me. Grotus, who will prevail?
Okay, I don't think stealth's gonna work. Okay, sorry. Kill. There we go. Artuccio. Demoralize is a persuasion thing. Ray of Frost is level 0, so it's free, I guess. It looks like he defaults to casting spells, so I can trust him to do that mostly. A lot of single target abilities. Magic Missile. And Burning Hands. A cone attack. Alright, Artuccio. Let's get creative, why don't we? I want to see if I can do something a little more scary. That could be fun. Screw all of you. Alright, less damaging than I might have hoped, but still. 1d4 points of fire damage per caster level, so just 1d4. Not exactly blowing minds, but AoE is fun. Oh. You know what? Let's just attack that guy. Don't do the cone anymore, or bad will happen. In your faces, jerks. Oh, they beat the frost giant on their own. There's Amiri. Not even departed and we already won our first battle. Seems like a good omen, right?
Follow me.
So many deaths. The night stokes our rage. The grief and tears will come at dawn.
Thank you for your valor and bravery. The enemy was strong, but you were stronger, and that means I made the right choice. Just as I thought, there were worthy leaders among you. I'm especially grateful to them for the courage and common sense they showed while defending the mansion. But this attack means we have even less time than I thought. Someone already knows of our plans and is acting against us. You'll begin your expedition immediately.
Lady Aldori, please, I know who arranged this attack. The vile king of Pitax, Iroveti. What's more, I know who among us works for him. Hey, you! Show everyone the ring you're wearing. You think I wouldn't recognize Iroveti's seal? That's why he wasn't killed. The bandits recognized him as one of their own by this signet ring.
This little shit gave me this ring. He's trapping me. That's funny. I wonder if this dialogue would branch differently if I threw the ring away or something like that. And didn't even have it on me in the first place. He definitely trapped me by giving me this evil ring. By the way, once again, the entire premise of this seems really questionable in the fact that like, oh, these evil bandits have attacked us. It's like, yeah, they found out that you're, you know, organizing an army to take their country from them and depose their leader. So they struck first. So far, I haven't actually seen that much evidence that they're in the wrong. Tartuccio's trying to set me up. He's the one who gave me this ring.
Yes. Such a gambit would be typical of Iroveti and his henchmen. And yet, it still seems suspicious. There's definitely a spy among us. But who? All I have is one word against another. I'm afraid you're both under suspicion.
They both came to your aid, Lady Jumanji. But a liar's cunning knows no bounds. I've never met these two or their companions. For all I know, they're all conspiring spies.
How could you say that? We fought together. We literally went through fire together. And then you vanished into thin air. After you promised you'd wait.
my words might be rash.
I bet my life despise anyone but this man. I saw how he dealt with those creeps with my own eyes. A true warrior. I'd go with him through hell and high water. This purple crook, on the other hand, he's got the eyes of a spy and the mug of a spy.
Lady Eldori, don't listen to this thick-headed barbarian. She doesn't know what she's talking about. During the attack, our leader showed his true colors. He forced us to break into the armory and rob it.
Forced us to? Moral choices. Sometimes your character has to make difficult decisions, relying on their conscience or lack thereof. Such decisions impact your character's alignment, gradually shifting your character towards good or evil, lawful or chaotic. Such dialogues feature special options that are available only to characters with certain alignments. It's good to know the game is paying attention, so it is going to judge you on whether or not you took stuff from the armory and stuff like that. And then it will change your alignment accordingly, shifting it in one way or another. So I can go towards lawful neutral or chaotic neutral. Forgive me for my trespass. In my defense, we were in the middle of a battle and in dire need of weapons.
Considering the circumstances, that was more than reasonable.
That was a sound decision. Sometimes one must act at one's own risk and peril until crossing the boundaries of what is allowed. Showing initiative is no crime.
It is insane when faced with death to stop and question whether you may be breaking some law or rule. Even more insane would be to ask forgiveness for making the right decision. Sorry, but your words display a lack of wisdom.
A lack of wisdom. It's called diplomacy. That's a very wise thing to do when you're talking to like the leadership of a country, is to be diplomatic on some level of just be like, you know, apologies for the trespass and all that, even when you know you're in the right. And then you also have the impression that everyone's going to also agree with you that you're in the right, which they did.
What about that trick he pulled right before we came in here?
Okay, how do I kill this guy?
He knew very well you were fighting the enemy, but instead of rushing to help you, he dallied as long as he could, dropping everything to save people from the fire, even though the guards were handling things just fine. He was obviously hoping to show up too late and find you already dead.
Neutral evil. I wouldn't have saved them without good reason. Dead soldiers are useless, but the wounded could still help Keston defend the mansion. Huh. People were dying right in front of me. How could I just walk by?
Really, Tartuccio? You're seriously trying to blame someone for saving people from a fire?
Getting some whiplash whenever they use my name, but the voice actor has to like use neutral terms to skip over the fact they're using my name. It's one way of compromising having voice acting, but also a nameable character and so on.
May Shellen spare me from ever having to make such a choice, but he behaved decently as a true leader.
A true leader is someone who has their priorities straight, not someone who would put a valuable ally's life in danger for the sake of some servant.
Yeah, well, I didn't get the option of y'all go ahead while I carry these bodies with the cool lady, so yeah. You're all really obedient to me for people I've just met.
Enough squabbling. I'm still not sure which of you I can trust. However, the risk of entrusting the whole affair to a spy is too great. Here's what we'll do. 2 teams will head out. That way, I'll know at least one group can be counted on to serve my interests in the stolen lands.
Interesting. They just skipped the line entirely. She said two teams will hide out. One will be headed by Tartuccio, the other by Captain Hammer. But they're like, how do I make that work with the voice acting? So their solution was just to not say it at all. Huh. This is definitely why BioWare tries to sort of step around this problem by giving you another name. In Dragon Age Origins, you're the Inquisitor. I'm sorry, in Dragon Age Origins, you're the Grey Warden. In Dragon Age 2, you're Hawk, because it's your last name. In Mass Effect, you're Shepherd, because that's your last name. You're also a Spectre, so they sometimes call you Spectre. And then Dragon Age Inquisition, you're the Inquisitor. You get a bunch of titles, and then people can often voice act that title at you, so they can still refer to you directly, but you still get to name your character and avoid some awkwardness. Because if you're not reading along, you might be slightly caught off guard by this. So Tartuccio is going to lead the other team, which is weird because he sucks. But I guess a couple of the other characters really suck too, so they'll probably go with him.
Lady Aldori, most of those who are to set off for the Stolen Lands have been killed. Those who yet live will require help. Please allow me to join the expedition.
I'm sad to lose such a talented warrior. But you're right, Valerie. They have greater need of you right now. Go, and may Abadar keep you. Which of the two teams would you prefer to accompany?
If my leader allows, I would join his team. He seems a worthy commander in my eyes.
Not exactly surprising.
Commanders, military leaders, all these laws and rules are but dust and vanity. I suppose I will accompany Tartuccio.
Our leader is good in battle, but I don't like all the spiritual agonizing. I prefer those who can act without wasting time helping every little pipsqueak. Those like Tartuccio.
Ugh, Tartuccio's going to take the credit for himself and be done with it. Shellen, spare me from such allies. I'm going with you. You're a hero worthy of my quill.
Interesting. So this entire intro, I think, was like a litmus test for your alignment a little bit. You pick one when you make your character, but you also make a few choices that might shift it a little bit. And the way the choices you made kind of seem to choose which allies end up joining you. That's why there's so many characters here.
As for me, I know neither of these two. At least not well enough. And I have no wish to become an unwitting pawn to an unworthy leader. If Lady Jamandi allows, I'll remain in Restov and help mend the wounds this attack has inflicted. But who knows? The road may bring me to the Stolen Lands, but not yet.
That's some awkward exposition to imply that, hey, I will be a party member who will arrive later in the game, and I will strangely exposit this, but I will not join either party for now. I barely interacted with her, so I'm a little surprised there even is a test for her.
I don't even need to think. I'm coming with this man. As for you, Purple Toad, just wait until we meet along the way. I'll be sure to hang your rotten spy guts from the trees.
We seem to have a strong front line.
All right, we have two teams. To avoid unnecessary conflict on the road, you'll each take a different route to the Stolen Lands. Tartuccio's team will go through Navakta's crossing. The garrison commandant will provide him all the help he needs. You will take your team to Oleg Leviton's trading post. He's been complaining about the Stag Lord's bandits for a while now. There, you'll be provided with all the necessary travel supplies. I'd like to believe you, but I know all too well how convincing traitors and spies can be. If you're truly innocent, I hope you can forgive me this precaution.
Just look at my character sheet over here. It says lawful good.
While you're away, Keston will investigate the night's events and learn who in Restov is working for Patox. But you should know that it isn't just Patox we need to worry about. The Royal House of Sertova may also interfere in our plans. I've managed to keep this affair a secret from them so far, but that can't last long. By my estimations, you have no more than 3 months. After that, any feats you accomplish will be pointless. And now, farewell. This battle was but the first ordeal along your path, and you overcame it as true champions of Restov. May the obstacles that follow also fall to your feet. Fear nothing, my friends, and return victorious.
All right. That's an interesting way to handle an intro and a party composition. could get in a little trouble where your alignment and choices could give you characters that are of certain class configurations where you're like, I'm not psyched with this particular set of people. People will definitely be tempted, I think, to like game the system a little bit. Not necessarily choose the an alignment just for the party members, because you have to play that game that way the whole way. But once you figure out what kind of alignment you're leaning towards and what party members that would lead to, you might intentionally go back and make a character that complements that party composition. I think I got the majority of the characters. Be wrong about that. I'm Lindsay, the author of this book. Alright, well this is Pathfinder Kingmaker. It's an interesting setup and start.
Surviving a terrible night, our small team set off to brave our fate. Beware, stolen lands. Heroes are on the way.
Yep, that's more or less a clean conclusion. Ah, she's in the drawing. Interesting. I guess that's generic protagonist man drawing, which is... yeah. I'm guessing the idea is that the barbarian hates Tartuccio no matter what, and has such a... she probably is actually just true neutral, so she can probably come with you no matter what character you made. And so she's probably the only guaranteed party member, and she just hates Tartuccio because he's a little shit. So he'll just join you, but she'll just join you by default, so they can slip her into these artworks here as an assumption. Alright, well if you'd like to check this game out, there's a link in the description to the store page. Thank you to the developers for sending me a code so I can preview their game. Thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time.